Good evening again, Rage. The question is, if you were a doctor and the Caribbean was your patient, what would your prescription be to cure the region from crime and violence?
Thank you for that question. I think what the Caribbean needs is more love. We have lost our need for developing that community spirit. Long ago, if my child was doing something, my neighbor could correct my child. Nowadays, we are very distant from each other. I also think that leaders in the Caribbean need to be much more focused on developing the Caribbean as a unit. We are too disconnected as a people, and we need to move forward together. Also, our protective services, instead of implementing rules and not carrying it out, we need to enforce all of these laws to get these criminals out of our region, and we need to focus on the youth. Without focusing on our youth, our future is non-existent. Thank you.
Good evening, Sarah. Good evening. The question is, if you were a doctor and the Caribbean was your patient, what would your prescription be to cure the region from crime and violence? Repeat the question, please. If you were a doctor and the Caribbean was your patient, what would your prescription be to cure the region from crime and violence?
I believe that curing the Caribbean of crime and violence starts at home. It's important for families, mothers, fathers, parents to teach their children good morals. Let them understand that they need to stay in school, they need education, they need to get into training, and they need, They need to keep themselves involved in wholesome things, think positively. They need to want to be successful in life and not stay in the corner and stay on the block and want to be just one of the boys or one of the girls. They need something better. And I think that is what I will do as a doctor to rid the Caribbean of crime and violence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Good evening. The question is, if you were a doctor and the Caribbean was your patient, what would your prescription be to cure the region from crime and violence?
Actually, my future goal is to become a doctor. So I know that it entails taking care of people and knowing what's best for them. And if the Caribbean has a problem, it has to be the small-mindedness. We don't accept each other for our cultural differences, and I think that this is what is stopping us from being culturally integrated. So this is one thing that I would have to do as a doctor to ensure that the Caribbean can become one, and we can map it to ourselves as one destination and one family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The question is, if you were a doctor and the Caribbean was your patient, what would your prescription be to cure the region from crime and violence?
Could you please repeat the question?
If you were a doctor and the Caribbean was your patient, what would your prescription be to cure the region from crime and violence?
Okay, my prescription, sorry, would be that we join together as a Caribbean. As when I came here to Guyana, I realized that there's a lot of similarities of all the Caribbean islands together. We are one nation, we are one people. If we join forces and use the best of each island to help the other island, we can definitely, that would mean in English, we can definitely beat and cure criminality and violence. Especially putting emphasis on our youth, for they need us, for them to realize that they are the ones that have to carry us into tomorrow. So if we focus on helping each other and using the best parts of the Caribbean from each island, we can definitely use that as a prescription to help the Caribbean to fight criminality and violence.
Thank you very much, Nadia. Thank you for the evening. The question is, if you were a doctor and the Caribbean was your patient, what would your prescription be to cure the region from crime and violence?
My prescription would be love and unity. So I believe that in order for us to get along and truly live in that passionate world that we have created, we need to live in love and unity. And I'm just happy to say that.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Judges have submitted their scores. So now, it's pretty much the defining moment, ladies and gentlemen.